What's up, my peers? So I'd like to think that we're all familiar with how much of a downhill thing that Dauntless is. But I was wondering personally, is it as bad as everyone makes it out to be? Because I know it's a Monster Hunter copy, everyone wants to be like Monster Hunter, but is it as bad as it seems? So in this video, I'm gonna find out. At the very start, it isn't very obvious, but you gotta go to the training grounds and learn all the attacks before you can actually go ahead and fight your first boss, which honestly I think it's kind of annoying. There isn't exactly a story, and I understand that it's more of an online game than a story-based game, but it's still not too straightforward and kind of confusing. Once you do that, you gotta go around the village, I forgot its name, and you just gotta talk to all of the NPCs. And I'll tell you right now, there is a lot of NPCs, and that's the very beginning of the game. You'll be talking to 20 NPCs before you fight your first, what they call behemoths. And so I'd say it's kind of notorious and tedious, and the gameplay is actually pretty interesting. You just jump into this little area from your airship, and you just go ahead and fight some behemoths that are in the map. It depends on the map what behemoths are going to be there. There's also little guys that you can fight too. And there's not really a direct objective as to what you're supposed to be doing. There are quests, but they don't give you monsters. It's just more talking. Personally, I wanted to fight the behemoths, so I went ahead and did that. This is the Lesser Embermane. He's like basically the tutorial boss. He's absolutely just eating these hits. He doesn't hit hard. I just want to say I have 1,000 health, which is it's a huge thing to think of when you're trying to play these kinds of games. And the amount of damage numbers I'm doing, it's kind of hard to understand what I should be worried about and what I should be worried about when I'm getting hit. But other than that, it's an incredibly easy tutorial boss. And after this, you can go ahead and fight as many behemoths as you want. Only the ones that are available, but other ones you have to unlock through like quest lines and all that other stuff. And after defeating the Lesser Embermane, you have to go and talk to even more NPCs, which isn't so bad because they actually give you some pretty important information as diamond types and weapon swaps. And you're not allowed to forge new weapons yet, but let's get into the weapon part of this game. At the very beginning in the training area, there are over 7 different weapon types, and each of them has their own elemental abilities. As for example, the sword can do ice attacks. So each weapon has their own little jig with it, and I think it kind of takes away, because the only reason to like defeat new monsters and behemoths is to give them looks rather than abilities. It gives you more damage, but it doesn't change the element that your weapon attack uses. So it's kind of interesting how that works. But honestly, I don't like it. I don't think it's good like that. And you may be wondering, why do I have all this like armor and all these different weapons? That's because everything that I had before their big update changed into a skin. So all my swords that I had that created from monster materials, they changed into skins, and so did my armor. I mean, my armor gives you elemental boost, and it kind of kept its defense that I had it upgraded to. But other than that, it's basically useless. I get a step before, but other than that, yeah, it's kind of useless, and it takes away because it's just really skins for the weapons now. You don't get any advantages when you make them. And this is further worked upon with how you upgrade weapons, because you don't use behemoth materials, monster materials. You use this stuff called aetherite, and it's called weapon infusion. So what you do is you put some aetherite into it, and it just upgrades the level of it. And you can see right there, it's only going to be in my ice sword. And that sword never changes elements. It's always going to be ice. So you got to be really careful on what you spend your aetherite on. I think it's a terrible game design. I don't like it myself. Other people might like it that way, but it kind of takes away from the point of, like, you know, hunting these behemoths. Another thing about this game is that once you enter a zone, it's always going to be multiplayer, and so just be looking to have unwelcome guests when you're trying to hunt behemoth by yourself. Other than that, the game in the combat is really weird. Everything mixes in with each other. You can use the axe or the sword, and everything does its own elemental damage. And kind of the behemoth animations are sort of choppy. As you can see, this guy, he doesn't necessarily have that many Qs. He kind of just goes for it. And so, in my opinion, the combat in this game is a little bit wacky. It might just be with this behemoth specifically, but let's check out another one. More than half the time during combat in this game, you'll find yourself just like clicking random buttons, because like there's not much you can choreograph. Because this guy, he's just kind of jumping around. He's attacking me like that, and I don't know what to expect. And he just gets stunned out of nowhere. I don't know if that's him getting tired, but it's never really explained in the game. It kind of just happens. Because this guy, he's gonna track the hell out of me, and he's just gonna do all these attacks. And you can't really dodge them. You can't dodge that. He's gonna get me nonetheless. And it's just the fact that, like, half the time I don't know what the hell is going on. All I can do is just click buttons and even just freeze him. And it never tells you when he's gonna freeze, because I've used that attack before and he didn't freeze like that instantly. So when it comes to combat in this game, I don't like it necessarily. So that brings us back. Is this game as trash as everyone says? Personally, I agree at this point. There is a lot going on at once when it comes to combat and like the actual quest system, because there's just too many NPCs. I can jump around the map so freely, and the map is freaking huge. Even for just like a hub, you can just go around and do whatever you want, and there's always something there. And they don't even like, it doesn't mix together well, in my opinion. And there's even like little secrets you can find, so it's just another thing that adds a clutter. And that's not even the worst part, because just about every corner of this game is bad. This game has a battle pass, and you gotta pay for it in order to basically enjoy the game, because in the very start of the game you didn't need a battle pass to have fun, but in this one, now you do. You gotta buy aetherite, you gotta buy weapon tokens, and all this other tokens that just go to whatever there is, because there's just so much going on. There's such a clutter. I'm gonna say that all the time, because I don't know what I'm doing in this game. It's just overwhelming. There's so much to do, and I feel it's just a cash grab. I feel like I know that it's a cash grab, because the only way to have fun is to get the items that you need to like progress, and that's in the battle pass, which is like, wow, really? And let's add to overwhelming, because you can fight 2 behemoths at once, and I guess there's special events and a lot of people are going to be there, but the fact is there's not a lot of people playing this game anymore. There's maybe a height of 200 at most. And so like with events like this going on, it's really random. And there's like little dinosaurs. I thought those were little enemies. No, they're somebody's like pet, and they're helping us fight. And so it's like, where are you getting all this stuff? There's just so much customization. I understand that this game is meant for certain people, but I feel like there should be explanation in the things that are added and what's going on, you know. But other than that, I guess the only slightly upside is the design of some of these monsters and behemoths. They could get some cool points, although they are most definitely inspired from other things in real life and Monster Hunter. But I'd say that's the only plus to this game. Other than that, this game is 98% trash, I'd say. I know that's a bit rough to say about a game that used to be good. I'll give it that. This game used to be cool, but it's just what they did with the updates. It's bad. They can bring it back, but it's not gonna be worth it with the player base, because no one's really playing this anyway. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't mean to sound so mean about this game, but if you really want to like change my progress and make it pointless almost, then I'm just not gonna play the game no more. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you later.